Well, hello, lovers. There is a very special holiday coming up. Now, this particular holiday is full of love and flowers and so many hearts. I can't continue to do that. I'm sorry for the cringe. So since Valentine's Day do be coming around the corner quite quickly now, I've decided to do yet another sketchbook spread. After my last sketchbook spread, which was actually my first sketchbook spread, I really started wanting to do it again. So now I'm hooked. I've always loved Valentine's Day, even when I didn't have a Valentine, just because the holiday was heavily red and hearts, and I really love red and I really love hearts. My desk, as you can see, well, you see the heart background that I got going for you. But my desk, as you can see, is very, very red. I've got red butterflies and I've got my little 3D printed glasses holder with the red bottom, and the glasses are red, and my little Santa hat on top is red. Got a red candle, a red heart. Like I said, I like red hearts. That one's just a realistic heart, so. I painted this clock red and put my little heart character chrysanthemum on it. Underneath that, I have a drawing that I did of me and my boyfriend hopping out of a heart-shaped portal in the Rick and Morty world. And that's because Rick and Morty was the first show we ever watched as a couple, and I thought it was very fitting. I like the color red, and I like hearts. So Valentine's Day is perfect for me. I'm gonna stop wasting time. Let's get into the spread. Okay, as soon as I opened the sketchbook to this page, I drew a huge blank and I was just like, what do I draw? I eventually just decided to be basic and start by drawing some little swishy hearts. And when I say swishy hearts, I really mean like flowing hearts or hearts with movement. I really like those. After that, I went on to Google to find some Valentine's Day inspo to help me out, and I found the cutest lollipops. Look at them. They look just like my character Chrysanthemum. I mean, if we're being honest, Chrysanthemum really is basically just a heart with eyes, so it's not really rocket science to look like him, but I was still amused. Speaking of Chrysanthemum, I have like the cutest little drawing of him not wanting to take a shower and being stubborn, and I just wanted to share it with you. Look at him. Look at his little cheeks. Cute little heart cheeks aside, let's get back to the heart candy. I ended up coloring the lollipop on the left with color pencil, and then I went in with alcohol markers for the lollipop on the right. I think I like the alcohol marker one more, but they both still look a little bit off to me, so there's that. Anyways, the next thing I decided to draw was this human character, and boy, oh boy, is he bad. I'm not trying to be negative or hard on myself right now, but I'm just one of those people who got caught up in drawing the human head over and over and over again and neglected to draw the human form ever, and this character just really shows it. His limbs are super skinny and they don't make sense, while his body is all bulbous. Don't even ask me the logistics of how his body even functions, because I can't tell you. He straight up just looks like all of his muscles and internal organs just abandoned their positions around his body and are just hanging out in his abdomen. Okay, and now that I've trash talked him into oblivion, let's tell a story. I just feel like I'm sounding so rude, even though I understand he's just a drawing and he has no feelings, he has no emotions, but I'm one of those type of people who just apologize just to apologize. No joke, I was literally taking a box upstairs the other day and I hit the wall and I turned around and I apologized to the wall. I actually turned and started to say, I'm sorry, and then I caught myself and I was like, Rizzy, that's a wall. You're talking to a wall. Anyways, let's get back on track with giving this guy a story. So our friend here goes by the name the Valentine Vigilante. He loves the idea of love and has vowed to protect love at all costs. How does he plan to do this, you may ask? Well, every Valentine's Day, he dresses up in his outfit in his very full-looking diaper. The full diaper was not the intention. It just kind of came out like that. I apologize. It's not actually full, though, so you don't have to worry. He did not take it that far. Anyways, back to the story. Our Valentine Vigilante gets into costume every Valentine's Day and scours the streets of his city looking for people who seem to be lonely. When he finds his target, he walks over to them because he did not get bit by a radioactive love bug and he cannot fly. He has no powers. He literally works as a waiter at a restaurant. But he uses his waiter job to help him scout out those who need love for Valentine's Day. He keeps a very sharp eye out for people who come in to have dinner for one, and he makes a note of it. He's a very open guy and likes to try to make a lot of genuine conversation with his customers. So much so that he's asked his boss to sit lone customers in his section only. So he spends pretty much all day just talking to lonely people and getting to know them and kind of giving them a little bit of a laugh. Since he shows so much care and compassion for his customers, they always end up feeling very loved and they always tip him very nicely. He then takes those tips and saves them up in a jar at home that he has dubbed his love jar. When he's saved up a little bit, he'll take the money and go buy things like yarn, flower seeds, and baking supplies. He then takes the time to knit different sizes of gloves, hats, scarves, and sometimes even sweaters that he can give out on Valentine's Day. Then when it starts getting a little closer to February, he takes his seeds and he starts growing his own homegrown plants. There was one woman who sat in his section one day at the restaurant when he had his hair dyed purple. She marveled at how vivid the color was and how she loves purple, and it was just the perfect shade of purple. So the Valentine vigilante made a note of this. So in growing flowers for this specific woman, he grew white roses and dyed them the same shade of purple. That's just an example of the kind of detail that he puts into his gifts. He likes for everything he makes to be handmade, homemade, homegrown, all of that. That way he knows just how much love was put into the production of every piece, and that makes it that much more special to him. He typically spends the day before Valentine's Day in the kitchen just baking away, making all types of Valentine's Day themed treats too. Then come Valentine's Day, he tracks down everyone he has a gift for, hand delivers it to them, and lets them know that they are very loved. Oh my gosh, this has to be my favorite story that I've done so far. Why is this making me smile so much? It's making my heart smile. So yeah, that was the story of the Valentine vigilante. I know I gave myself heck on how I drew him. I still agree with that. He looks terrible, but his story is so heartwarming, and I really love the story, not the drawing. I may have to get some practice in with drawing the human figure and then revisit this character drawing because we can't let him go out like that. Anyways, let's get on to the rest of the spread because there actually is another drawing and another story to go with it.
Round 2.
Okay, so because of how the last human drawing came out, I decided to make this one animals. I knew for a fact that I wanted to draw a bunny, but I wasn't sure how I was going to make it Valentine's Day themed. Eventually, I settled on having it hold a plate of Valentine's Day heart-shaped cookies. She's not just holding this plate of cookies though, she's straight up zooming. She's got a distressed look on her face, she's running really fast, the cookies are flying everywhere, it's kind of chaotic. But you just have to know the reason that she's running and then it'll all make sense to you. This bunny's name is Mushroom. I don't know why, it was just the first word to pop into my head. I used it as her name and we're just gonna roll with it. Anyways, Mushroom is a very clumsy and forgetful girl, and this tends to make all the other animals around her not take her seriously and not really include her in many things. Upon attending different events with all the other animals, Mushroom always seems to find a way to mess things up. The sad part is she never really intends on causing anyone harm. She really just wants to be of service and of help and have people like her, but her clumsiness as well as her forgetfulness always seem to get the better of her. For example, she once attended a birthday party for an alligator named Lily, and everything got a little hairy. Music was playing, Mushroom and everyone else were dancing, everything seemed to be fine. But eventually the time for Lily to blow out her candles and cut her cake came around, so the music was turned off and everyone gathered around the log along with Lily. Everyone except Mushroom. Mushroom had really gotten to the music and didn't realize when it was turned off, so she was still in her own little world just grooving. Everyone gathered around to sing happy birthday to Lily, but Mushroom, still moving and grooving, had her eyes closed and ended up knocking the cake off the platter into Lily's face. Obviously, Lily was not happy about this, and neither were any of the other animals attending. So they kicked her out of the party and then kind of stopped inviting her to all get-togethers entirely. This obviously made Mushroom feel pretty bad, so upon hearing that Lily is throwing a Valentine's Day party, she thought she'd come in and bring cookies. Now, Mushroom was not invited to this party. In fact, everyone tried to make it a point to keep this party completely unknown to Mushroom. So she plans to make her way to the party as a surprise guest and share her Valentine's Day cookies as an apology. She learns that the party starts on Valentine's Day at noon, so she makes her cookies, sets her alarm, and then heads to bed. Upon waking up the next day, she realizes it's 45 minutes past, she overslept, she's already late. She hurries and brushes her teeth, combs her fur, grabs the cookies, and she heads out the door running. She doesn't get water, she doesn't stop for breaks, she's just trying to make it to this Valentine's Day party. As she's running and cookies are flying everywhere, a very mischievous monkey named Ricky spots her. Now, Ricky is a very sly guy with a love for all things goodies. He sees the impending opportunity approaching, so he gets ready. He grabs onto a couple of vines and then swoops down into Mushroom's vicinity, taking as many cookies as he wants. Mushroom sees this reality unfolding right before her eyes, so she tries to speed up in hopes that she can outrun the sticky fingers of Ricky the chimp. I said he was a monkey at first, didn't I?
As she's running and cookies are flying everywhere, a very mischievous monkey named Ricky spots her.
Yeah, no, he's a chimp. He doesn't have a tail. If you look over in the corner, you realize that I used a picture of a chimpanzee as a reference for Ricky, so he's definitely not a monkey. He's in the ape family. Anyways, where was I? Oh yeah, so Ricky is cookie napping Mushroom's cookies. She's trying to get away. It's a whole thing. By the time Mushroom actually makes it to the party, she's completely out of breath and she's just like,
I'm here. I brought cookies.
Everyone stares at Mushroom in shock because, first of all, she wasn't supposed to be here, but also she's holding an empty plate. As everyone stared at Mushroom with very confused looks on their faces, she tried to hurriedly explain.
No. You guys don't understand. I heard about the party yesterday. I made cookies. I went to sleep. I woke up late. I had to rush out of the door. I ran really fast. I didn't have water. Cookies were flying everywhere. Ricky was stealing cookies. My heart was hurting. I was rushing to get here. And that's why there are no cookies.
She looks down and stares at the empty plate. Her ears fall and she begins to cry. At this point, a lot of the animals just kind of scoff and roll their eyes and continue on with their party. But upon seeing Mushroom breaking down and crying, it pulls at the heartstrings of Lily the alligator. She slowly approaches Mushroom and asks if she's okay. Mushroom keeps both her head and her ears down while she tries to explain how she just wants to be nice and friendly and helpful, but she always seems to mess things up and make people hate her. Lily herself starts to tear up upon hearing this as she starts to remember a time where a lot of the forest animals didn't like her either. She sat and told Mushroom about the times that she also felt isolated because all the other animals didn't used to like her. They used to also treat her pretty badly and not include her in any activities, all because they were scared of her. She explained how bad it made her feel and how all she wanted to do was to just be accepted and make friends, and for that reason, she was giving Mushroom a second chance. She grabbed Mushroom's chin, tilted her head up, wiped her eyes, and told her, "You've made a friend today." She then squeezed Mushroom's hand, stood her up, and they both walked into the party together. I don't know what it is about these stories today, but they are hitting me in my feels. Don't make fun of me when I say this. I'm not crying, but why do I feel like the story is making me so emotional? Anyways, I got pretty caught up in the story and didn't explain the other stuff that I was drawing. I finished off with a little heart guy doing a split as well as some Valentine's Day candy balloons. I then went in and filled the empty space with red and purple hearts and dots, and this is the final page. If you made it to this point in the video, I thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to do all the things, comment, like, share, subscribe, and turn my notifications on so you'll be notified whenever I post the next video. Anyways, I hope you have a good day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!